You'll need that to live. Good morning, all of my fellow travelers on spaceship Earth. I feel like we're having a problem here. Are we confused? Are we dying? Is anybody else doing this, or is this just you? Looks like just you. Okay, let's get control of this light. Control of this light would be through Alexa. We're trying to control a light problem right now. We have a definite issue right now. Like, is this light toast? What's the story? Device is unresponsive. It may be the first of my smart lights to actually die. I've had all of these smart lights running since we started this show. And that was a long, long time ago. Maybe one of them is just dead. And maybe that's what it's trying to tell me. All right. Hang on real quick. All right. My sister, for some reason, sent me a voice text, which was fine, but, slightly weird. I don't know. Trying to figure that one out myself. All right, I'm looking back through real quickly. I just started this thing before we started the show where I was trying to capture all the pictures of my car and the gas tank mileage thing. Every time I fill up my car, I take a picture of the mileage and I take a picture of the of the gas or the gas pump. That way, I can go back over it if I need to for any reason and audit the actual, how much gasoline it's using and stuff like that. So that's kind of cool. So I go through and do this. I'm now going back through it and realizing I didn't always move them over when I should have. So today I had an interesting discussion with my friend when we discussed things we are looking for in people. Like, what do you look for in a person when you're looking for things and stuff like that? What are you looking for? And I realized that one of the things I'm looking for is your story. What is your story? I'm not talking about like a mate or anything like that. I'm just talking about, what are you looking for? What is the thing that you're when you make friends with somebody? What do you do? What are you looking for? What's the story? What's the what are you looking for? And for me, I'm looking for the story. I want to know what your story is. What's your story? Interesting, but true. So, yep, that said, what is your story? What is my story? What are we doing today? Does anybody even know? What are we doing today? So, I'm actually going to head over here in a minute and we're going to start working on Nate's thing. It needs one more specific wash, and then I can cut it down and make it a different design. So we're going to go back through and wash it one more time with that specific thing. We need to load up Premiere, which, Premiere is going to get cranky on me, and so is my PC. So now we're cranky because we're having a hard time loading this, right? I'm going to take Nate's background thing that I loaded up before and did good work on this, and we're going to load it up again. I've loaded it up before, I'll load it up again. I'm going to take this now, we're going to remove these from this, and we're going to go into my work folder, which is now hanging out on my desktop, which I'm not ecstatic about, but I need the space. So needs background pictures. Where did I render it out to? Did I render it out to like my work drive? Which, wouldn't surprise me. I do all kinds of weird stuff rendering out to the work drive. I'm gonna have to do some stuff here. I'm just looking around and like, wow, everything is so confused. You know what? Check where you output it last. See where it went. OneDrive desktop. Just OneDrive desktop. That's where I put it. That was your plan all along? Get her? Oh, yeah. That is exactly where it went. That makes sense, I guess. Okay. All right. Once you've gotten into the Premiere encoder, apparently there's no way out of the Premiere encoder except to encode. You have no other options. Do not pretend like you have options. All right, here we go. I'm going to take all of these guys, put them out of here. I'll put this into here. Then we're going to go, oh, we're not sharing our monitor, are we? We should share our monitor, for better or for worse. Okay, this now is a non-stabilized, but all unified video. It may take a while for it to stabilize, but it's all running at slow speed, which is good. There you go. And maybe I don't need to stabilize it. Maybe it's actually okay this way. You know what I mean? Like, maybe I don't need to push the stabilization on this. Maybe it's fine as it is. Good morning, Jackson. How you doing? Good job. I went for a walk. Walked a little bit around the lake or around the park nearby, and that was kind of cool. Chatted with a buddy of mine, and it's nice. I've known him since I was 18 and he was 15, and we were just talking about that today. We're like, we have these patterns, and some of these patterns are really, really old. Like, we've been doing them since the 90s, and we should probably like lay off in some of these patterns and stuff. You're not wrong. It's like, meh. It was particularly funny though. Okay, so what happens if we run stabilizer on this, huh? Yeah, I'm gonna have to leave it alone now because it'll be stabilizing for a while. Stabby, stabby. It's an interesting thing we were talking about what we look for in people, and I'm not talking about like dating or anything. Just like what do we look for as a human? And I realized that one of the things I really look for in people is what's their story. What kind of what kind of things have they done in their life? What's the what's the what's the things? What have they done? You know, what is their story? And I even think about that. That's my expectation of my life as well. I don't need to be rich. I don't need to be. I mean, money would be really nice, but I don't need to be rich. I don't want to be rich. I've never had that. I just want to live a story, an interesting life, lead an interesting life, have done interesting things, something that people would go, oh, yeah. And it like makes total sense too, by the way, the things that I do, like this, where I really, uh, I'm really big on like, this is my history, this is my story. It doesn't matter to anyone else. It's not, it's important to me. And that's, realization that I have made. But also helps kind of craft a little bit more my characters that are the Dea Study. And that's one of their things, right? It's all about the story. And it's just really an interesting realization. Like I'm fascinated by people's stories. I just want to know what their story is, What is your story? I love the fact that I got this in fourth grade. Any book where you have to go to your mom and say, what does decapitation mean? And your mom's like, I was like, I don't know what decapitated means. You're like, what kind of book were you reading? Well, I mean, it was a book on disasters. These are terrifying true stories. Terrifying true stories. But legitimately, it's the first time I ever read about the bus in New York, that school bus that in 1972 that tried to race the train crossing gates. I use that story all the time as to why you should never race trains. It just doesn't end well. It never will. And it's interesting thing. Anyway, never race trains, guys. Just don't do it. It's not worth it. Unless your train is clearly going to be faster than somebody else's train, then that's fine. But only then. All right, we're going to have to make a maquette for the kid. Realizing we really don't have a couch, do we? Okay, here we go. Warning for naked maquettes. But I'm going to build a whole new rig for our... Actually, we should fix some of the other problems we've had right now, because we've had some serious problems. Like, I don't know what's going on with Chang, but her chin is all screwed up. We need to fix this. Well, that's how you make young Chang. But that didn't solve my problem. That didn't solve it either. including those invisible dials for the selected object. Main menu bar. Okay. Edit figure 0. There we go. We're going to zero her out. Let's see. So it's not actually a problem with the figure. Figure is correct. That's weird. Okay. Right. I just think it's neat. Let's just see what we can do about making her body. Right, we bring her body down in size, and we use the youth more. Make it just a little bit more. It won't matter a whole lot here. Then we need to find my service forms, which are just the That's interesting, though. I'm noticing I don't have the Oh, legitimately, that's not that bad, actually. Just leaving it with that. I do need Yeah, let's not do that ever again. Or that. What I am having a hard time with is I don't see my controller for making her. Ooh, yeah, let's never touch that button ever again. The controller for eyelashes hide. Eyelashes hide. There we go. This makes it look like a different actress is playing her. It's very funny. That's right. I'm not seeing the controller for making the uniform. The uniform controller. That's a body controller that we don't have here for reasons. Not sure what the reasons are. We're missing that particular controller. And that is an issue because I need that controller. Excuse me. I don't like that at all. She wouldn't be lucked with androgynous as a body type because that's not what she does. She's genetically engineered to be a very specific type of person. Yes, yeah, didn't help anything. I just don't have. I mean, I had it. It was here. I saw it, and now I have to reload it. I guess that's annoying. A lot. I want to reload that. Maybe it's Emma Kits. Who knows? There we go. Did that work? Did that not? I know it's made it mad. I can see it's made it mad. I like this. Part of the reason is that this is not exactly, it's set under a parameter or something like that, as opposed to being put under shaping. Oh, that might be it right there. I'll bet you that's what it is. Okay, I think I may have it. I may have it now. We'll load her in. She looks really screwed up. Perfect. Morph loader. Check the morph loader on this. No, that's not it. There's something in the morph loader that's loading wrong. Just the uniform. Under the pose controls, maybe? A lot of pose controls in here. It looks like something is loaded. The rigs are doing. The rig looks fine. I'm just looking through the rig here and seeing what's up. Yeah, I thought I had it, but now I'm not so sure anymore. Everything looks fine here. Oh, that doesn't look fine. Work. There we go. Now we've solved it. Whew. I'm like, everything looks okay except for that morph that's running right now that should never be running. There you go. Perfect. That one doesn't need to run either. Whew. Man, that took a lot of effort. We'll have to go through and fix all of them because this is looks like this morph is set as a default. Which reminds me of a couple of things that I want to do. One, I want to save. Hey, Brent. That's all right. Don't worry. I'm trying to think of what I want to do here. I think what I want to do. I wonder if I can export her just as she is. Like a couple of the dogs are fighting out there. That's nice. Because that's one of the things we always need is neighborhood dogs fighting each other. Nothing says my day is going to go crappy like dogs fighting in the neighborhood. All right. Next thing we're going to do is revert this to 0. And then we're going to take into the normal shaping parameters. We're going to bring her down even more. It's like give her a child body because her child should look pretty much like her, except child, right? So we're going to do that here. And then we're going to move the camera up. And that just brings her body down to child proportions almost. She's 8. Child is 8. So maybe that's really young. That's like 5. There we go. That's probably 8 there, give or take. And then we'll go over here. First, let's go over here and check to see where we are. We're still analyzing. Well, you just keep analyzing then. We'll bring up this. There we go. And it took way too much effort. All right. Guy the artist. We have Electric's Rising. 3D sets and stuff. Maquettes. We'll go in here. There's a couple of things we want to do for this. For example, we're going to open with clip. We're going to talk a little bit about Sarah's face. Sarah's face. So let's craft Sarah. We'll need Sarah anyway because 'tis the nature of the beast. With Sarah, I envision she has similar eyebrows, but not the same. I also envision them being higher. And thinner. And maybe even bigger. Now, Chang's eyebrows ride pretty high too, so we have to be kind of careful. I may decide this is a bad idea. And what I may do is just bring these down quite a bit. So that they start in sort of the same place, but still go a little higher. All right. Okay. Of course, she's a little girl, so she doesn't get like heavy eyeshadow or anything like that. A little young to be wearing any kind of makeup of any sort, or have, in the case of Bellatrix Rising, sort of the tattooed makeup things that happen. Because in Bellatrix Rising, you can have chromophores put into your skin that allow you to change your color at will. Let's also go here and let's get the actual head graphic. And part of the reason to make sure that I've got this, it's level. And I don't. So let's go ahead and go on here pretty tight, like we were just saying. Get rid of this here because the actual eye runs along this line. And we're playing a trick that I actually oddly learned from a cosplayer. I think it's kind of funny. Not the trick being that the cosplayer had come up with something cool, but that the idea behind this is an interesting concept. Whereas the cosplayer took, when she's doing anime or manga type characters, she paints her eyes with the eyeliner and then does it down just slightly below on the orbit of bone of her cheek, thereby allowing her to look like she has larger eyes than she does, which I think is a brilliant concept. So I am completely stealing it from her, shamelessly stealing it from her. It's pretty funny. Sarah would be like her mother, Asian-esque. So she would definitely have the epicantral fold on her eye. Unlike her mother, she doesn't have freckles. The maquettes are another really good thing to have for this specific job, because what will occur on this one is I will use Sarah for this one, or for this one story. I'm not really going to use her again for a long time. So, I don't need to bring her back again for a while. But when I do, I'm going to want to make sure she matches the way we've seen her before. In flashbacks or 2001-esque visitations by her David Bowman, whatever, whatever happens that I bring Sarah back for, I want to make sure she looks the same every time. So we're going to be doing a lot of work here for this, and that's the point. So it's nice to do the maquette. The maquette will stay the same, and I'll be able to pull the maquette up later on, and should be perfectly fine. All right. With that done, the next question we have is, does she have the baby hairs? And that's the important next question. Not only that, what idiot did the original version of Chang? Man, talk about really screwed up. I want to go back and fix Chang's setup as well. I've got a lot of stuff going on here, but I'm noticing also a lot of potential errors and places where you don't really want messing up happening and things like that. And so it's going to be obviously true that she favors her mother. No, that makes her look like she's death-body. Little like mark on her cheek. We may have gone too far with those eyebrows. She looks downright terrified. Oh, that's right. We still have her mom's face under there. Problem I have with the eyebrows, it's been a problem all along with Daz, is these eyebrows are in a very unique spot on a very next question is, do I really need them to be that low on the eyes? And I don't think so. But I do think the nose needs to be moved in. It's not the one that was in there, but it is. And now I was just asking this question. And I think really the truth is I do need to raise those up because the eyes have been changed on the maquette. So let's go ahead and pull this back. And we go ahead and re-ink in the correct spot, which is right here. Make sure that's right. Just taking a look at, and her eyes are already huge. They're huge because of the actual setup. All right. Let's go ahead and save this one more time. Save it one more time. Whatever. And then see when it updates here. Takes it a second. There we go. That seems to have settled in quite nicely. All the pieces seem to have settled in just fine. Yeah. The more I look at this, the more I think I really want to follow the contours, the eyebrows. I want them to go down. No. I want them to go down more. No matter which way we look at this, I feel like she looks too scared, and I don't want her to be scared, because that actually is very much one of the things, is that she isn't actually scared. Her mom is scared, as most parents usually are. But Sarah herself, not so much. Happy little kid waiting to play with their dinosaurs at home. That's it. There we go. Now, she's not in a standard uniform. She is in a medical uniform, which isn't a uniform. But that's okay. Are you still out there, Jackson? No, it's good. I was actually looking for Jackson. Although I will ask the same question of you. I've been thinking about moving the night show to 9 to 11 as well. So they're both identical. It's just 12 hours apart. So 9 to 11 on both sides. And then I'd be clear from here at 11 o'clock for multiple reasons. One is school starting, and I've got a lot more responsibilities this year as far as a parent goes, to make sure that certain members of this individual family, I won't name any names, go to bed on time and stay in bed. But two, when school starts, so it'd start 10 your time and go to midnight your time. When school starts, I'm thinking of doing but when it starts, I've got to start getting up at like 6:30 and I'm going to bed at midnight and not going to sleep until 1. Getting up at 6:30 is 5.5 hours, and I don't think I can operate on 5.5 hours. That's fine. Then Jackson can join me halfway through. That actually wouldn't be a problem either. But yeah, I think you'd stay with me longer too, because instead of petering out halfway through my first hour, you'd be petering out halfway through my second hour. But I've been thinking about doing that. Yeah, so that's what I was saying, with the exception of Mondays. Well, yeah, we'd have to see what we do about. Well, maybe Mondays is just. So that's what I was. Anyway, that's what I was seeing is what you guys thought about it. I'm floating this idea for you guys. What you guys think? What you think, cat? Burp? Meow? You're like, what did you do to the floor? What I did to the floor was fix your problem, you goofball. Pest. You could join in at night. Yep. You certainly could. You've got the link. You can sit there and chat with me all night if you wanted. Yep, that's what I mean. You can join me and then I could talk to you and we could discuss stuff. I'd be okay with that. All right, let's take a look at, first of all, it's medical, which means it should be in the medical colors, which everybody knows medical colors. And maybe I will actually make a generic medical shift that we all use for medical stuff. Yeah. Goes along this neckline here. Maybe it dips down like so. Check on you. You're still crunching the numbers there, huh? Okay, you keep crunching. Just letting that video go over there. It needs to keep going, so that's fine. All right. Because what I'm thinking here is you'd want to have the shirt be easily openable so you can access any part of the body. So you would have pretty much a sealing clasp all along the front of it, which you could then unclasp at any point in time. It's a medical thing. You'd want to be able to access the body. Yeah. I don't think we need any other part of the body to be readily accessible. Nope. Yeah, that works. Yeah, a medical shift is not quite as complicated as doing this or as a flight uniform. That's always helpful. So one of them came out. Okay, so yellow is one of the things that we need to worry about. And that's here. Mm-hmm. Do not do that. Okay. Let's look and see what else the main whatever here came up by 12 or 13 there. So we want to make sure we cover that from left thigh 12. Just coming in here. You did it again. I did it again. Oh. I don't know what you mean by stream alone, but okay. I mean, you don't got to stream alone. I was just trying to figure out whether you wanted or whether we could move it a little earlier. That didn't work. Oh, it's because you put the wrong one in there. Oh, weird. There we go. You're fine. It's totally cool. I don't know. It's kind of feeling like really having a problem with this. Alrighty. There we go. Sarah Chang in her outfit of doom or whatever. I don't know. No, I was just all I was thinking of changing was put my stream just an hour earlier, so it's 9 to 11. Kat, you could just join me at 10 and I'll run 9 to 10 by myself, and that's fine too. And then you can run 10 to 11. And if you want to continue the stream from 11 to 12, that's totally fine. Just run the end credits and I'll bow out at 11. And then you know what I mean? Like we could even, it doesn't have to be rigid. Yeah. Because I just want to go to bed. I want to start going to bed, putting myself and my kid to bed by 11 at least. Because we're all getting up at 6 or 6:30. And so before I boot my child out onto the street. which I will be doing, of course, naturally. There we go. Yeah, we can make that a permanent change. That'd be probably better. The problem is things like tonight. On right now, I've got a Tuesday night game. Oh yeah. That's cool. Because then you could clear out at midnight, and that wouldn't be bad. Yeah, see, there we go. Chang Sarah. She looks very young and floofy with all of the things that we can hook up to her and all the medical lines and whatever it's going to end up being connected to her. Well, and to answer your thing, Brent, I mean, I've got to boot them out of the house by, 7. I think it's 7:30 is the latest I can boot them out of the house. So we got to get them up, moving, make sure they have their musical instruments and all of the things. She still looks roughly Chang-like, but she looks very different now. So. All right. Man, there's a reason you make pediatric beds. Like all this extra room on here. See you later. Yeah, I've got 5 minutes left. There we go. Now she looks really tiny though. Now we're on to part 2, stabilizing. So it only took 2 hours to get to the initial work there. Oh, well, still stabilizing. And it probably hasn't helped any that I've been doing stuff the entire time. So there you go. Well, okay, guys. I actually think Brent's onto something, and I'm thinking I want to. So I'm going to head out a little early, maybe just a moment or two early, not that long. But I'm at the end of my work that I just was working on with Sarah. And that's good, because now that's a done deal. Somebody in this family, and I won't name any names, George, has pulled the water vent out of the air conditioning unit and continues to do so, and now has chewed so many little holes in it that it's not quite as useful anymore. But in doing so, the carpet has gotten soaked, because now instead of venting, it is just dripping onto the floor. So one of the things I'm going to do at lunchtime here is head over to Home Depot and buy one of those little pans that you usually put your that you usually put underneath your water heater, and then I'm just going to put it under there and let it just drip into that, and then you can drink it to his heart's content. It's just the moisture in the air, so, but it's like cat, I swear. He's such a cat. Oh well. Okay, guys, it was good having you guys here. I will see you all tonight. Before I go, Jackson, I have a game. Normally my game runs until 10 on Tuesdays. It's temporary. It's a temporary game because I've kind of resigned myself from our D&D game for a few months so I can get my life kind of organized and straightened out. And so I've joined this other game, and it goes until 10 o'clock. They usually try to break us up at about 5 till 10 or whatever, but I'm usually late. So let's just get together at our normal time tonight, and we'll discuss what we're going to do and everything like that. But I will not be on tonight at 9 o'clock. We will start the 9 o'clock thing tomorrow night. So I just want to make sure I was very clear about that, because it occurs to me I wasn't clear to myself. So there you go. Anyway, for everybody else, I'll see you guys later on tonight. Like I said, I'll be a little late tonight coming back in. And as always, keep your eyes on the stars. Good night.